Sex or chocolate?
Playing games.
What's up, Subaristas? My name is JR, your Barkada sa Kalsada, and today's Road Stories by Subaru Cebu is a very special episode because we will be joined by Cebu's very own car enthusiast, a motoring journalist, and a businessman, Mr. Cabusas. Enjoy the video, guys.
So guys, we're inside the 2020 Subaru Forester. This is the highest variant of the Forester. There are three variants.
Three variants.
The high end, the mid spec, and the base.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's well, what I know is the base model doesn't have an eyesight.
Actually, in some cars, and depending on which country I drive, I actually prefer a car that doesn't have a leather seat.
Why?
Especially in countries that is very hot and humid, you would actually find it better that the car you're driving is not leather, because once you go inside, your bum, it's so hot. And it takes a while for it without to cool down. But in countries wherein the weather is permissible, leather seat brings out the classy interior. It's also an added bonus to have leather, kay mas mahal mo sa yun siya in the category trim.
So we will go to Tops or Busay?
Busay.
Busay.
Take some pictures there. Yeah.
So we'll try.
There's a restaurant there called Chicks Boy.
I don't know.
Lagi daw, it's so nice.
By the way, Tito Carl is very lakan. So if he has time, he travels. Because he drives, so he goes to places like.
But this is the thing, JR. Before the pandemic,
you stayed home.
No. Before the pandemic, I was mostly working. But my point is, I do not know much of Cebu, local destination.
Before the pandemic?
Yes, because I would travel. I had this in my head that it's, if I'm gonna spend this much amount of money, I would rather travel outside na lang.
Yeah.
Then Cebu is always gonna be here for me. Because this is my home.
That's one thing that I noticed about you, sir, because you travel mostly outside of the country, so Europe, US, Asia, and recently he posted that he's planning to travel to, I think, Morocco, Bali.
Morocco has always been in my mind for the longest time, because Spain was already, tech mark as checked last year.
Southern part of Spain is
very nice.
Yeah.
I only got a glimpse of it, but I want to stay longer because the culture is so rich, the food is amazing, the people are so warm. But on the other hand, talking about cars in Europe in general, I was so amazed because Europeans in general love to drive manual transmission cars than automatic cars. The manual transmission culture in Europe is so alive. I said, wow. I was so surprised, really.
Yeah. Well, here in the Philippines, most people would choose the automatic one.
Yes.
Yeah, automatic transmission.
I used to drive a manual transmission back mga 12 years ago. Back when Cebu traffic was still manageable. But now the traffic is bad. You just this one transmission, automatic transmission is a more practical choice. When you travel mansagod to other places, it opens up a lot of ideas to you, and it quenches your thirst about culture, food, and there are a lot of cars that I've encountered the first time. here yet. So you have Fiat in Italy. I've driven one there. It's very nice. In France, there's also, well, we have Peugeot here. They have a car named, a brand name there called Citroën. So it's really nice. It's a French brand. In Spain,
How do you say it?
Citroën.
Oh, okay.
Citroën.
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
It's a car brand.
Car brand.
Yeah, and it's French.
French.
So
Okay.
there are two French brands that are really kind of famous in Europe. One would be Peugeot, and
Yeah.
one is Citroën. But they belong to one group, the PSA group. So it's like VW owns
Yeah.
this and that. So in Spain, there's also a Spanish brand of car which is called so many things, so many to remember.
Yeah. Let's ask him how he gets started with having this thing for cars.
Cars, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it all started very long time ago. About 1984, we moved back to the US. We migrated.
So 1984 until for how many years?
84, 86, but it wasn't a full migration. So we would go there and come back here on summers.
Okay.
But I completed my studies here in the Philippines. I have 2 degrees in business administration and economics.
Wow.
So that's where my fascination comes in. So I have a full picture about the car industry. At the same time, I can relate it with the business world. So yeah, I can dissect the business and how the industry helps the local economy.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, because
that's my forte.
yeah, because economics graduate man siya. So
Yep. So how I learned about cars is that we moved to the US. It wasn't really in search for a better life, but back then, Mango Talisay was known as the killing fields in Cebu. If you're young.
those years.
Yeah, those years, yes, because there were so many NPAs in Talisay. So my parents decided that we moved to the US because my mom is an American citizen, partly Hawaiian. My mom is Hawaiian.
Oh, wow.
So that's the reason why we moved there, for safety. And then we stayed one summer in my uncle's place. He was married, but he didn't have kids back then.
In Hawaii.
No, this was already in Modesto, California.
California.
Californian already.
Okay.
So when we stayed at his place, I saw so many cars. There were BMW M3s, there were Jaguar XJs, Corvette Stingrays, and these are the, back then I didn't know that they were hard to find cars without. So and I was assigned to a room where he placed all his car magazines there. So with so many times that I could spend roaming around, I was just at the room reading all these
Those
magazines.
magazines.
So all those, without all those photos, and then after the end of an issue, there's a car spec there. I would look at the car specs and I would say, wow. So I thought cars just come in one generic form without.
Yeah.
And there were so many cars to like.
Wow.
So one of my first car that I really loved back in the US was the Grand Am, and the Pontiac. I forgot. There's this American brand called Pontiac,
Yeah.
and one of the few that I really liked back then.
There's so many things about cars that I didn't know. Only Sir Carl knows. Anyway, yeah, but I'm trying to absorb everything that he's telling me
But
about cars.
Some people actually tend to like cars because they're forced to like it because they're in the car industry,
Yeah.
and that's not a bad thing, you know. it doesn't matter if you like cars now or later.
Yeah.
Yeah, the love of cars is always gonna be there. So as for me, I started young lang yun. And I lost contact about that feeling when I started working because I was really busy. And then
So before you left for US, you know how to drive already?
no, I was very young. But I noticed my father was already into cars.
Okay.
Yeah, because he had a Mercedes Benz, he had a Ford Escort, he had a pickup, and I said among his friends he was the only one who had nicer cars.
Yeah.
So I said my father has a good eye for cars already. So yeah,
It's fogging.
yeah, it's foggy and yeah.
Okay, so yeah, going back.
So yeah, so after that, I think I was still working for a corporation when I said, why don't I try my luck as a part-time motoring journalist? So I sent out my resume, and 2 days after I got a call.
Okay.
From
That's already
Sunstar.
here in Cebu. Yeah.
In Cebu, Sunstar.
Okay.
This was back 2005, 2006. So I was relegated to the business section,
Okay.
and then there's this subsection in the business section that says motoring.
Motoring.
So I would write for the business section sometimes, but it's still related to motoring. So I was asked to write about the motoring industry in the Philippines, or motoring industry in general, and how it affects the business community.
You know who I remember every time I see your post on Facebook or social media about cars. You remind me of James Dickens.
Well, Tito James Dakin is one of my idols pod, no? And then when he started, I said, one day, and I'd like to be him, but you know, we can't go that same path. He has his own following, and he's based in Manila. Basically, Manggod, everything is in Manila. So they're very, these people in Manila. I don't have anything against you guys there, huh? But even when I was writing as a journalist, we were always underserved in Cebu. So journalists in Manila are treated to like free travel abroad, for test drives, for motoring industry, for motor shows. While here in Cebu, we were always left out. So I said, unfair, sad. Because I would. This is my opinion lang, ha. Because if you're serving the whole Philippines, Manila is just a portion ng baya of the market.
Correct.
And there is a bigger market in Cebu and in Mindanao.
Yeah.
Geographical wise, takdahan man yun ang taga South.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Yeah, so ang feeling ba nganong sila raman nga journalist ang paadtuon unya ang ilaharang reviews ang matter, whereas journalist and motoring enthusiasts sa South more nga left out bitaw me. So yeah, manay. So the reason I'm bringing the Subaru here is
It's
I'm also
very
testing. It's steep, so I'm also I'd like to test its pod crawling ability, its ability to climb roads like this. This is actually to check if it's underpowered or not, but yeah, it's not underpowered. I don't have any problem going up. So as of the moment, it's actually the car's intelligent driving all-wheel drive. It's actually doing its thing, deciding whether to use to send power to the back or to the front or both. And hi, we're back.
Hi.
So, we just had our lunch and at the Bay in the Sky. So thank you.
No,
you treated me out. Thank you.
No, thank you. Earlier was really so foggy, guys.
Yeah, it was really foggy, and this is what I really
Such a
like.
good weather.
Yep. So let's talk about Subaru's drive and ride. Well, the Forester is, as you all know, an all-wheel drive system. You know, the full. I mean, it's got all-wheel drive system, and we're actually currently in Busaya with the long winding road, and it's very stable and safe, even though even though the surface is wet, and it's really sure-footed. So I can go fast even with a wet road condition, and it's still, you can still feel that you're safe and it's stable, because that the four wheels of the Subaru is actually working to keep it steady. Driving dynamic is really good. You feel that you are connected with the road. Steering is not overly light and overly assisted. I can still feel the weight of the steering wheel as I go through the corners. Throttle response for a CVT, it is very responsive. Because usually you just have an ordinary CVT system. It's just the delay is just unacceptable for me. But this one is nice. There's still the droning effect of the CVT, but this one is more acceptable than the rest of the with other systems. And what I like about the Forester is it drives like a sedan, because the suspension is really compliant, but you get a utilitarian space of an SUV. So you're actually getting two cars in one. With the Forester.
That's new.
Right, no?
Two cars in one.
Yeah.
Driving like a sedan.
It drives like a sedan. It's very comfortable.
Yeah.
It's not like your usual big SUV, say for example a Fortuner. If you've been in a Fortuner, man, that ride is harsh. This one, it's nice. I'm tackling corners like I'm actually driving a sedan. I'm having fun actually.
So, Sir Carl, I just want to ask you this. So, in your how many years of driving a car from different brands, or should we start with younger years? You had experience of a road accident, perhaps?
Most road accidents that I've been in was, as far as I can remember, it's usually not my fault.
Okay.
So the last time I was in an accident was like 5 days ago.
5 days ago?
Yes.
So what happened 5 days ago?
I was doing my usual.
Yeah, I saw it. There's a scratch at the back of your
right,
car.
Yeah, there's.
Okay. So what happened?
So I went home to Talisa about 6:30 p.m. As I was about to turn into our corner, somebody from behind rear-ended me, and he was drunk. He didn't had any driver's license.
Oh.
Neither has his bike had a OR and CR. So basically, he was not fit to drive. But the thing is that you don't let this bad experience define your driving moments, your driving experiences. But of course, you got to deal with the bad and the worst. But yeah, as a driver, you will at one point experience accidents. But let's just pray that nothing too serious.
Yeah. You had an experience, a very terrible road accident, perhaps?
Never had. Thank God, and I wouldn't wish it on others. But that's the thing. I guess with the new cars right now, because their advanced safety technology is so advanced compared to the cars, say 5-10 years ago, even 15 years ago, driving would be a lot safer now than driving a car of that era.
Yeah.
So, technically, there would not be a reason for you to get into accident if these are all functioning well. And if you go into an accident, it would not be as bad. Yes. Hopefully, huh?
No, the reason why I ask that question is because you're such a, I mean, you're a good driver, you're a car enthusiast. But some people say that before you become a driver, you had your experience with you. I mean, the worst experience in driving.
True. I guess I'm, let's just say, one of a few lucky guys who have been in the industry and have been a car enthusiast without having to go through a really bad experience.
Yeah.
But yes, every time you get into an accident, you're never prepared for it. Whether it's small or it's a small one, or whether it be a big accident, you're never prepared to for that moment. And the thing is, whether you say you claim to be a good driver or not, dili man gud siya maoy sukaranan that you are a good driver. Why? Because you may be a good driver, but the rest around you,
yes, I agree.
Yeah,
They might not be too careful.
yes.
So any tips or suggestions or should we say advice to our drivers right there?
To our new drivers out there, enjoy the moment, because there will come a time that you will no longer enjoy driving. Because,
At what point?
because when I was young, I'd always say, sige, I'll drive you around, mom. I'll accompany you to the groceries. Now sometimes I'll say, can you just ask somebody to drive you? I mean, I'm so okay. I mean, especially with our traffic condition now.
Yeah.
So yeah, and enjoy driving. Second, when the time comes that you'll be blessed to pick your own car, take your time.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to ask for a test drive unit. Test drive it,
Yeah.
because it's going to be one of the most expensive investment in your lifetime.
Correct.
And the power to say yes or no in your purchase is you. So, enjoy the moment. Driving, I mean, one form of freedom is actually driving. Did you know that? Be able to freely drive yourself to anywhere in Cebu, that's already a big freedom.
Yeah. I agree. We're going to have a very quick fast talk here. Are you ready for a fast talk?
Sure. Your car is fast, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to catch up.
Okay, so fast talk. Okay, there's a pressure in the ear.
Yeah, I know. You're just gonna have to.
Are you having one?
Yep, I'm just gonna have to yawn it off.
Because we came from
High altitude.
Yeah, so I. Anyway, so let's do this.
Go. Game.
Lights on, lights off. Fast talk.
Depends, but yeah, lights off.
Lights off. Okay, crunchy or chewy?
Crunchy.
Boxers or brief?
I can go with or without. But boxers, yes. Sexy.
Okay, sex or chocolates?
Sex.
Okay. Okay, Pringles or Lay's?
Pringles.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. And Jay, you have promos for this vehicle?
Right now we are giving as much as 150,000 peso
Off?
cash off of the purchase.
So that applies to cash Porsches.
Cash and cash and bank POs.
Okay, that's nice.
What was your favorite music back then up to now?
Okay, I'm partial to the 90s.
Okay, so
I'm
any title or specific song?
The defining moment of my youth was actually Backstreet Boys.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Can you see my? I like
So
it.
I used to have this hairstyle, the split hairstyle.
From
That's me. That's the Carl, the young Carl. I knew
Nick,
back then.
Are,
The Nick Carter
Are
guy.
you the Nick Carter of the group?
Yes.
Wow. Everyone loves Nick Carter.
wasn't. He had. Well, he didn't had a nice voice, but you know, he was the most popular though.
Well, here's a Backstreet Boys greatest hits. That's every morning before going to
Really?
work. Yeah.
And you're younger than me, right?
Yeah. I can sing most of the songs of Backstreet Boys.
Really?
Yeah, so let's play Backstreet Boys.
Go 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 go.
Okay, let's.
Hmm. Actually, this is also a nice thing to try because some entertainment head units of a car actually pair to your phone faster than some. So it's nice to test if the Subaru Forester is able to do this. Quit playing games?
Quit playing games? Yeah.
Mm.
I'm excited.
Ah. Even in my heart, I see you're not being true to me. Within my soul, I feel nothing's like it used to be. Sometimes I wish I could turn back time, impossible as it may seem, but I wish I could so bad, baby. Quit playing games with my heart, with my heart. That concludes this test drive and interview.
Yes.
Thank you.
Subaru Cebu.
Subaru Cebu and Autocentral.
Yes.
Yes, there you go. And thank you, JR, for inviting me.
No, thank you, Sir Carl. So, guys, I had fun. We were having the road trip, and we had this very good conversation, and we had this off the record conversations.
Yes.
Wherein, we shared some tips.
Light moments, yes.
Yeah.
And light.
It was really.
It was great, and you know, this is the first time for me. So, thank you for the experience. I had a great time, and so see you soon. Maybe hopefully with another collab with Autocentral in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. So, Carl signing out.
Bye.
Bye.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you had fun watching the video. Thank you so much, Mr. Carl Cabusas, for your time. That was one informative and very fun road stories by Subaru Cebu. Watch out for more episodes of road stories for Cebu's most interesting personalities. Stay tuned, guys.